I've been geeking out over this Melisa and Doug plane. The most amazing feature to me is actually this elastic cord here. It simply ties in, I'm gonna see if I can see that on the camera, yep, into these little holes here and here. The simple design allows the wings to fold up and down, which I think would be nice for a parent to be able to store this in a toy box somewhere in a nice flat way, because when the wings are extended, it becomes, much wider. But from an engineering standpoint, it serves so many purposes, this elastic here. First of all, it allows this wing to have a nice satisfying pop. It lets the child know when the wing is in its correct position. It doesn't hover in these odd places. It simply snaps in. Listen to that sound. That's fun. But it also serves interesting protection features. One protection feature is to the plane itself. These wings act as levers, and that will be a key component in both of the safety features. The first safety feature is to the plane itself. If a child were walking around and stepped on this plane, it would break, either up or down. And if it gets dropped, and this wing would act as a lever here, but as you can see from this demonstration, it actually yields 360 degrees. I suppose some odd semi-spherical, since it won't yield this way, but it'll be supported as compressive load against the body of the plane itself. But as a safety feature, whether this is emergent design or done intentionally, you can see that I can place my finger here and bend this structure around, and it will not crush my finger. If this were a normal hinge, this lever wouldn't pull out, and so you'd have this multiplication of force, which could easily pinch little fingers, like the skin of a finger, or crush the finger on a larger side itself. From different elements, I think we can enjoy the way that this plane is shaped, kind of leaving the engineering space and getting to simply design of product. This is not very accurate. This is the wrong shape. It's much more like a sky bus. But I find that personally the shape is very pleasing. This nose is much cuter. This slope right here, it seems like a toy, and obviously it is. The simple wheel design, the axles that appear to be, plastic, they're naturally going to be non-abrasive against this wooden surface. Its simplicity is very flattering as well, and I find that Melisa and Doug tend to do that with their toys. This is something that if you had the pattern, you could easily reproduce on a scroll saw and these thicker sections on the bandsaw. Down to the use of these people. Very simple. This block silhouette would be very easy to cut out on the scroll saw and these figures to paint. But I think it's actually the look at this image here that is an example of Melisa and Doug's attention to detail. But simply don't overemphasize this figure, make him more complicated to work with. He simply slides into his seat here, and the pilot slides into his seat. It's very easy to work with for very young children, yet it includes the complexity of the figure from behind, which I think helps preserve the three-dimensional reasoning in space. This is a person. He's going to be a person front to back. He doesn't disappear when he turns around. Similarly, these suitcases are just enough to evoke the idea of a suitcase, and very easy for a child to put in the back. And then, of course, to fold up their emergent design wings.